Learning to actually play the piano at a young age creates tremendous brain development with lifelong transferable skills in subjects such as math, science, literacy, and more. This type of brain development is totally unique to preschool-aged children. So learning to play the piano at a very young age comes with innumerable lifelong benefits, in addition to learning how to make music. The Anybody Can Play Piano is a language parallel curriculum, so being able to read is not necessary to begin, just the ability to speak. It is also a vertical curriculum. Every song teaches a new concept while using and improving what has been learned before. This video for parents and teachers is just for suggestions and information. The video for students explains the activities page by page. Most pages have multiple activities, all of which need to be learned well before proceeding. Let's take a look at page 3 now. Do look at the videos with your child or student and always show great interest. You may even have to start doing some activities yourself, since small children become interested in learning a skill when they see someone else doing it. Be creative, like putting red crayons, red clothespins, or something else red on every D on the keyboard. Then have fun playing every D while singing D, D, D. Then suggest you and your student child do that game together. If your child is very young, like age 2, finding those Ds can be a fun game, but will probably need to be played for quite some time before a child that young can easily find them. I always taught age 3 and up in my studios and preschool programs, but there are times when a younger child really begs to learn to play. It is quite important to take some time every day to do a practice activity, even if it is just a couple minutes, but do it in a fun way. Say things like, "Those Ds look lonesome. Let's put some red crayons on all of them. How do we find those Ds again? Oh, they're between the sets of 2 black keys. You remembered. Good for you." You may be on this page for weeks or more if your child student has not been introduced to any of these concepts before. You have plenty of time. There is no need to rush with a vertical curriculum. Children like to be able to do an activity when it is easy. Also, personify the hands and fingers. The child understands what to do before the hands function well. Always comment about how we have to be patient with those hands and fingers. Do the activities on the video, but at a pace of your student. Like I just said, you may be on this page for quite some time. I have always been an avowed laminator. If you laminate a page or part of a page and use washable markers for the activity, that page can be wiped clean and reused many times. Children think it's fun to erase what is on the page with a damp cloth or damp paper towel so they can use the page again. Sometimes it spurs them on to repeating an activity again and again because it is so much fun to erase. I use 5mm laminator pouches, but 3mm is probably just as good. Then you can play "Do you remember what we are supposed to do here?" games. The capital letter D needs to be recognized. If a student is having problems, my advice is the same as it was to the teachers on my staff. Be creative. You could draw several Ds plus other capital letters and have them point, circle, or put a sticker on all the Ds. You could also start writing the D, then ask what to do next to finish that letter D. I also have videos available on my website, anybodycanplay.com, one of which is a giant D and a little drawing of a car. The D and car need to be laminated to work well, but it's super fun to drive around the D. In addition to circling the 2 black key groups, you can also have students find the 2 black keys on the piano keyboard and put something on top of them. I also have keyboards, a set of key group cards that can be cut out and lined up, plus 3 different tidbit videos about the key patterning with direct links that are on my webpage. Feel free to always check my webpage to see if there are other compatible activities for your student child. I'm always adding more. Page 4. 2 more letters plus numbers and colors for right-hand fingers 1, 2, and 3. Many children like to have colored dots or numbers drawn on their fingers with washable markers to help them remember. Play a tapping game using colors and/or colored numbers. For instance, during a TV commercial, ask your child to tap right-hand blue finger 1 2 times, right-hand green finger 3 1 time, etc. Page 5. Music theory. Young students like to learn music theory because they like to know names of things, even though they don't completely understand what that something is. When beginner students learn about notes and other music theory, by the time they start actually learning to read notes, they have basic theoretical knowledge and learn to read very quickly. Again, be creative. Really walk, 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 pretending to be quarter notes, and walk, wait, walk, wait, walk, wait, pretending to be half notes. Page 6. This page is introducing basic even rhythm and more nomenclature. Do use the vocabulary that is being introduced. When watching the student video with your student child, go through each part of the page one part at a time, so be ready to pause quickly. Talk about what is said, pointing, etc. Point to a finger and ask, what color is this finger? What is its finger number? Page 7, the stand-up box. By standing this box up behind the keyboard keys, a beginner student does not have to incessantly look up to the music rack, then down to the keys when learning to play a song. The helpful stand-up box is in sight at the key level and right where the student is playing the song on the keys. The stand-up box is also just one part of the song, so indicates that it needs to be learned before beginning the next part, which is true. Each part needs to be memorized before moving on. And speaking of laminating, if a student wants to keep changing places on the keyboard so as handling the paper stand-up box repeatedly, it would be a good idea to laminate it. If you laminate just the one box, cut off a one-layer piece of laminate twice the size you need, fold it glossy side out, creasing so it is a sharp fold, insert paper stand-up box and laminate. Page 8 reviews the theory previously learned with a game activity, something that can be done during the time the first part of the song is being learned. Talk about how to make those quarter and half notes before actually doing the activity. Let students choose which notes are going to be half notes and quarter notes. Back to page 7 shows students that in music, many times the same part is played more than once. We have to pay attention. Page 9, another type of note is introduced, the run-run eighth note, and an explanation of another change to that quarter note that turns it into another kind of note. Every change means something with those notes. And stand-up box for part 3. Start part 3 when parts 1 and 2 are played super well. Proper keys, proper fingers, proper rhythm, and no stand-up box needed. Page 10 is a recognition and follow the directions type of game. Talk about each kind of note, go over the names, the definitions, and how one is different from another. Page 11 introduces counting beats, which is going to culminate in learning about music measures. Page 12, a review and tracing game. Page 13, the whole song in just 2 stand-up boxes. This reviews the order of the song and the fact that in music there are repeated parts many times. The beats are counted in these beat boxes as well for a review. The song should be completely memorized at this point so it can be played start to finish with no help. If you haven't already, start playing and singing the song at the same time. Page 14, reviewing how to change notes, then changing them. Page 15, an introduction to music notation. Just look closely at those note heads so students see the shape of the song and different types of notes being used. 16, another review, follow the directions game. Page 17, adding more key groups. The 2 and 3 black sets together form another bigger key group. Find these on the keyboard. For an additional activity, choose a key, then find all the others that look exactly like that key. Put same color removable stickers on them, same color crayons, or something else that works. Students need to see these patterns on the keys instantly. Pages 18, 19, plus a video. If the student is young, cut out the key groups ahead of time on page 19. Have the student stack them up, 2 black key groups in one stack and 3 black key groups in the other stack. Before lining them up on the keyboard drawing that is missing the keys, look at the short video. Page 20, the pointer right hand with all the finger numbers and colors. Try to always say right hand before the finger number and/or colors. Students need to immediately know which is their right hand. Practice tapping finger numbers or colors, like tap right hand green finger 3 2 times. Now tap right hand red finger 5 times. Games like these can be done anywhere, in the car, on the arm of a chair, in your lap. Page 21. Drawing the treble clef with one continuous line. Generally, students draw the treble clef better when doing it this way than when they start at the top, drawing part of the clef, then going back to the top and drawing the rest of the clef, especially when drawing it on the lines and spaces for the treble staff. Page 22. Now we are using all fingers. The stairway next to the piano keys indicates the sound is going up, so students see that going toward the right on keys makes the sound go up. Make sure this is done very steadily, and be reviewing hot cross buns. Maybe play it as many times as you are old every day, and that means playing it without a mistake. When a mistake is made, either back up to the beginning of that particular part and start playing again, or go back to the beginning to play. Page 23. Learning more theory, line notes. Make sure that students know when you say the note head is on top of the line, that they understand that the note head is covering the line. Page 24. Now the fingers are walking down one key at a time, walking down those steps as we go to the left on the piano keys. Be extremely steady with this walking song. Some fingers may be difficult to play. If so, then practice playing the finger before that difficult finger and the finger after it to teach that finger how to function well. Remind students to be patient with that finger. Page 25. Now space notes. Point to every note and ask what kind of note it is, line note or space note. This is a recognition activity that needs to be learned well, so do this game with other music notation as well. There are only 2 kinds of staff notes, line or space. Page 26, our music notation for the walking song. Again, take notice of what the note heads are doing. Page 27, another note, and all we had to do is put a dot behind the note. A dot like this always equals half of what is in front of it. Add this mathematical concept if you think the student will understand what half really means at this point. Page 28, a song in the 5-finger hand position, but with a different rhythm, sets of 3 rather than sets of 4. Be reviewing all previous songs every day. We want all of them to be super easy to play. Sing and play. We want to exercise that muscle memory in the hands by playing songs with the same correct fingering each time, and train the memory reflex in the brain by continuing to remember the songs by memory. Page 29. This is downright math. This emphasizes that every box has a total of either 3 or 4 beats. Those beats can be in different orders, but the total has to be only 3 beats or 4 beats per big box. And all or some of those notes have to be changed, so all of them are used in each box. Page 30. Practice tapping these beats at the top of the page slowly, then more quickly, counting the number of beats for each note. Page 30 continued. Do not begin unless parts 1 and 2 are done well and memorized. Keep that beat very steady. Page 31. That treble clef has 2 names. When finding those famous G's, have students run their finger along line 2 in order to find the G's. If appropriate, also ask about the other notes. What line are they on? What space are they in? Count lines and spaces from the bottom. 5 lines, 4 spaces. Page 30 again. The end of fluttering butterflies. Make sure that fingertip stays down for 3 beats. Fortunately, children like to be precise, so really praise them when they are super precise. Again, when this part is also memorized, play and sing the whole song like KK in the video. She has a keyboard, so was able to change the piano sound when singing the colors. That's a fun game, too. Page 32. Fluttering butterflies in music notation with its 3-beat measures. Page 33. Right and left-hand finger numbers and colors. Do practice that tapping game with students lots of times, like tap right-hand green finger 2 times, tap left-hand green finger 2 times, tap left-hand blue finger 3 times, etc. Both numbers and colors are important. Playing same colors means that students can play the same melody with both hands using the same colors. After a while, they will play in unison just by putting their hands in the same position and playing on the same keys. But at the beginning, the colors make that skill possible. Fingering is also very important. Students who play with correct fingering all the time not only train their muscle memory, but enhance their memory reflex. And that is a reflex that transfers to other subjects and becomes quite impressive. Page 34. Playing with the left hand now. Just follow the directions. It will seem strange for the student to play the same melody using different fingers from the right hand version. Again, tell them to be patient with those left hand fingers. Colors are the same, but finger numbers are different. Page 35. Another matching game. Talk about each kind of note. Review names and definitions. Page 36. Finish the left-hand walking song. When this part is memorized and played well, play the entire song, then start playing it with hands together at the same time. When the walking song can be played in unison, start playing previous songs in unison as well. Those hands can learn to function together really well. Just have to keep remembering to review old songs and add playing in unison. Keep telling students to be patient with their hands. Page 37. Something new again. When we know we have to be quiet in songs. Shh, for 1 beat. Page 38. Just discuss what the video is saying. Page 39. Another trace game. Page 40. Using both hands at different times. This should be quite easy since playing in unison has already been introduced. We are just taking turns here. Page 41. 8th rests are introduced, and it's a tracing game. Page 40 again. Left hand, part 2 now. Page 42. Make sure students can play parts 1, 2, and 3 well before going on with part 4. Play slowly in perfect rhythm, then speed up, keeping the rhythm correct and not stopping between the boxes. That rain is running fast, but it takes practice to run fast with proper rhythm. Ultimately, students need to be able to play the rain song quickly with correct rhythm in order to train the fingers to work quickly but steadily. Page 43, the rain notation. Page 44, contrary motion. This is an all-time favorite song for students. They love that fuller sound, and this song is quite easy to learn. Just have to pay close attention to the rhythm and pushing down those 2 keys with the left hand at the same moment. Page 45, a game page. Page 46, keep steady on part 3. Stand up box 4, keep drum beat steady while holding those half-note keys. Music theory in 4/4 time and 3/4 time signatures. Page 48, repetitive parts. Page 49, the how many beats game. Page 50, another repetitive part. Then the ending. Page 51, the grand staff. Page 52, the music notation for Indian drums. And with all songs, I don't always mention this, but you should always play and sing when you get to the point where you're able to do that. Pages 53 through 58 are short instructive overviews of each page in Book 1.